SimTheWorld here. We are back with our series going through the Alpine expansion in Farming Simulator 2019. As you can see, I put up a little sign. I couldn't find a lot of mods with custom signs, so this was the best I could do. We are now the town's master fertilizer. Fantastic, right? So I was really hard at work yesterday. I know I didn't do we didn't do an episode covering it. I just kind of skipped ahead because there's no point in going through all that. Because you've seen us fertilize quite a few times at this point. So let me go ahead and we need to take care of the cattle just a little bit. I'll throw the tractor on and we'll clean up their mess over here. They're certainly good at it, that's for sure. But yeah, I picked up a bunch of contracts. I started at 6 in the morning and didn't finish until like 6 at night. So it was a 12-hour day. It was pretty grueling. But we can jump over here and take a look while I fix our time scale. Always got to start the episode with some planning, otherwise I don't pay attention. So yeah, I took care of fields 18, 20, 12, 13, 9, 10, and 17. And that totals out for a quick $36,000 just in fertilizing. And to be very transparent with you, I did keep it at 15 times speed. We used our fertilizer. There was no one was hired, no helpers were hired to do the work. It was all us. I wanted to do that to see, one, how much we could really get done in the day with just what we were doing, and two, I wanted to, make as much as we could. So now we're kind of back at where we were at before we bought that milk tank. That was $28,000, but it's going to pay for itself. We're going to be able to hold all the milk that we collect until the price is like in high demand, like we had the other day. I didn't even know milk would sell for $2,000 for every 1,000 liters. I thought it was down to like 1,400 or 1,500. So being able to now wait and hold on to that milk until the perfect sell point is really going to pay for itself. And it holds, 750,000 liters. So if we ever do get to the point where we're filling that up, we're going to make some good money. We do have our dog who's, magical in certain ways and can phase through stuff. He needs a name. So why don't you guys leave down in the comments below name suggestions? He needs a good name. Don't just give me a meme or something weird. Keep those things to yourself, please. But do come up with some cool names. We named our fish in the PC Building Simulator series. This is a perfect opportunity to do just that. So everything's looking good here. There's nothing I need to purchase right away. The grass is still growing. I'm waiting on that. I think we'll start seeing some tops to the grass, and that will be fully grown. And that's when we're going to go ahead and cut it and bale it into silage. Until that point, we're kind of doing contracts to earn some money. So since I waited for the fertilizing ones, there's not many to choose from. But what we do have is a weeding job. So I want to take this, and this is for field 19. Let's go take a look at the weeds. So he really let his field go. Like, you can see some weed patches on other ones. These would be quick jobs. Unfortunately, this is not going to be one of those quick jobs. We have to go through the whole field. I want to go down to the store and see what we can do for equipment. in the past we've been buying equipment that secondhand that we can use for our future fields. I hit my new sign, that's unfortunate. So I kind of want to see what a weeder would cost. I know we have different options. We have something like the weeder that they shown in the contract that would go through and kind of till up those weeds. But something like that piece of equipment is only good in the early stages of crop growth, and weeds will pop in all throughout, you know, those different stages, when it's small, when it's low, all the way until it's close to fully grown. And for those later stages, you need to use a sprayer with herbicide. So I don't know what's going to be the best option for us, whether it's getting the machine to go through the low amounts. Yeah, like these are all weeds. This isn't even a crop. Like, let's take a look. Does he have anything planted here? Something's growing. I'm not sure what it is. It is barley. So he does have barley planted, nothing sprouted, and it's all weeds. So if we want to save this crop, we got to do something. So I'm looking through the sprayers here, and it's not promising. A lot of these are pretty expensive. They do get good coverage, like this is 24 meters, but it's $35,000 just for weeds. And that's not even on top of the herbicide we're going to have to spend. And even these cheap, there's a cheap one here. It's 12 meters, but again, it only holds 400 liters. So we'd constantly have to come back to the store to refill. And anything really worth looking at is well out of our price range. Maybe down the road, maybe we'll look into something like that as we need it. That might be something we also just rent when we take those jobs and those contracts in the future. For the actual weeders, there's a lot more different options. I think this is what they were showing us for the job. Or maybe it was this one. Kind of hard to tell from the photo sometimes. But for $7,000, we can pick up, this is 7 meters. And again, this weeder will only take care of weeds in the first stage of crop growth. So it won't help us in later jobs, you know, towards the summer and autumn when they're getting ready to harvest. But it is significantly cheaper, and we can get it secondhand. So for $5,000, I think this is the right answer. Especially since these contract jobs, I think this one only pays $1,300. We'll have to do a few of these jobs to pay this off. But again, it's nice to have the equipment, because when you need it, you need it. Oh, it does close. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that. So that will be handy in transporting it. We won't, and storage for that matter. Don't have to store this huge thing. But as far as weeding goes, it is doing the job, which I hope it would for what we paid. $5,000 to do nothing. The only downside is I think we were spoiled with the fertilizing jobs, where we had something that would, like this field, I think would take 5 passes with the fertilizer and we'd be done with it. And we'd be making $6,000. With this job, however, it's going to take a little more time, and yeah, we're going to have to wait. So with that, I'm going to cut to speed this process up for you guys, and we'll get through this and see how the field looks when we're done. Alright, so I'm finishing up this contract. As you can see, we actually, according to the farmer, have completed what we needed to. However, there is an awful lot of weeds still left on the field, and if this were our own field, if you leave any of these in here, it's just they're going to keep sprouting and spreading, and you get this all over again. Which maybe we should just leave it and come back and do the field again in a day or two. Keep making some money off of them. But that's not how I've been trying to play. I've been trying to play and finish these completely. It will only benefit us come harvest time, because we do get to harvest these fields, or these will be contracts we can take, and harvesting them, we get a good portion of the crop when we're done. So if you complete these 100%, I'm hoping that will lead towards increased profits in the long run. But perhaps that won't have anything to do with it. Perhaps I'm just wasting time. Needless to say, though, this contract did take quite some time. It took all of the morning, and it's already what, 1:30? We're into the afternoon. Kind of disheartening when we consider the contracts we've been doing. And this is only $1,300. So it wasn't the best job. Ooh. We were given the option to fertilize this field. That though will be worth some money. So I'm going to take this back to the farm, and ooh, little pass through. Yeah, this will be handy to have for our future fields, though I don't know how many weeding contracts we're going to take going forward. Just compared to the fertilizing, it takes a lot more time and we're not making as much money. Though for the rest of the afternoon, I'm going to go fertilize that field, maybe another one, and I'm not going to take you along for that. We'll come back tomorrow, and tomorrow is the last day of spring. So we will do an episode as we transition into summer. The contract should be changing up, as we've already seen from today's episode. We got a weeding contract. I also have no clue where I'm going to put this thing. Maybe in the trash can, I don't know. So I'm going to find somewhere to put it, and we will catch you guys in the next episode. So thanks for watching as I simulate my life one game at a time. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates of future games being played, as well as Twitch, as I try to stream 3 days a week. Thanks, and I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.